Hi, and welcome to Transparent with Tina, a holistic approach for mental, physical, and spiritual well being so you can become the best version of yourself. Today's guest is yours truly. This is the first time I don't think I've ever done a podcast by myself. I've done reels. No, yeah, I have never done a podcast by myself. But I'm really looking forward to today because I've been wanting to do this for a while. And let me just start off by saying that I went through something pretty heavy in January 2023. So almost 2 years ago. I felt like I was having a breakdown like I've never had before. I felt like, honestly, like I was losing my mind. And my son had just left to go to Michigan, moved to Michigan. So it's the first time I was an empty nester. Also, somebody that I was seeing at the time had moved away. So it was like a double whammy. And I had before this happened, started experiencing like really bad anxiety and really bad depression, which I've never had before in my life. Um, People would always refer to me as like I was wound a little tight, which is very true. Like, for example, something that would like not go according to plan would freak me out. Okay. Or I'd lose something and I'd get freaked out. And I remember my son looking at me like, why is she reacting the way that she's reacting? And for me, that was just normal. I mean, it didn't take long for me to get into a really heightened state and feeling fear and anxiety. And so this kind of came to a head. All right. So that this triggered even more anxiety and more depression. And so I went to my doctor and I'm crying to him saying, like, put me in a mental hospital. Seriously, I was looking into them on the side because I'm like, I've never felt like this before. I had never felt so disconnected from myself. All I wanted to do was jump off myself. All I wanted to do was like stay in my room, stay in my bed. It was the only place that really felt safe. I was still working during this period of time. And honestly, I don't even know how I did that. But you know what I did? I was doing my coaching calls from my bedroom with a green screen so nobody could see that I was in bed. And any coaching clients that are watching this are going to be like, wow, really? But yeah, and the reason I'm bringing all this out is because I do want to help people. My whole purpose always is to help other people from the things that I've gone through. And I really am a true believer that your mess can be your message, right? So, I mean, if I don't open my mouth and expose this to you, how am I going to be able to help you? Like you have to pick a lane. And, for so long, I was just too afraid to speak my truth, so to speak, because for the fear of being visible. And just so happens I'm taking this masterclass right now, and they're talking exactly about that. So, everything is in perfect timing. I do believe that. And whatever you're going through right now, no, there's a couple things. This too shall pass. My mom always used to say that. And you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And for years and years and years and years and years, I felt like for the amount of work that I was doing on myself, I didn't see any progress. I mean, I saw some progress, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't making any big leaps. I felt like I was just kind of going around and around and around. So getting back to my depression and my anxiety, around this time, I met Dr. Daryl Geoffrey. I had asked him to be on my podcast. He didn't respond the first time. The second time he did. And like all this is kind of happening at once. So when I went to my doctor, he gave me a prescription for Xanax and for antidepressant. And I went home and I never filled them. I do have a very strong intuition. And I just was like, this is not for me. I just don't think this is it might numb me out, but it's not why am I feeling so much anxiety and depression? I don't feel that's normal. I don't think it's normal for anybody. So in comes Dr. Daryl, does some tests on me, finds out that my gut is really messed up. I mean, I have leaky gut. I have SIBO. I had like two more things that I can't pronounce. So he put me on a protocol. Wasn't easy. Kind of have to eliminate all these foods and then you kind of add them back in. But he got to the bottom of it and I started feeling better. Just so you know that 90% of your dopamine and serotonin is made in your gut, not in your brain. Okay. Your brain, your gut is like, it's all over the place. If you're listening, if you're on the internet, if you're on the news, it's all about your gut. So he cleared that up. I still felt so disconnected from myself. I felt fragmented. I don't know if you understand what I mean by that, because for me, I was like, it was the first time I think in my life that I had a chance to catch my breath because I was a single mom since my son was 5.5 months old. So, I had one objective, keeping him alive and thriving. And that was my main focus. It was never on myself. Now that he is out of the house, I'm like, who am I? Like, who am I? I mean, I've always been like a girlfriend before then, or a daughter, or a sister, and then for the last 21 years, I was raising my son. Well, now all of a sudden it's like I did not know who I was. It was really scary, you guys, because I was like, I can't, I'm trying to describe the feeling, but it's just like I said, like I just wanted to jump off myself. There was no connection to me. So I started doing some heavy work with Nicole Ziola, who I've had on my show. Things like inner child work, cutting the cord, started getting some momentum going, started realizing that basically I was like a shell of who I was. It was almost like I say to people, it's almost like a bomb blew up inside of me. And I have all these pieces all over the place and I'm trying to gather them back together. But you know what? I really like if somebody would say, what do you like to do for fun? Oh, let's go out for a drink or let's go out to dinner. Right. And I'm going, but what really sets you on fire? I went to my Pilates. My day consisted of to-dos, everything to do for the house, for my health, for this, for that. But there was no room for any fun. I had forgotten what that felt like. And that was all attributed to my upbringing. I mean, my father instilled that in me. If you weren't being productive, then, you either got in trouble or it was a non-negotiable. Yeah, you had to be productive at all times. And I remember when he died when I was 28 years old, I was thinking to myself, okay, that'll go away now. I'll feel relaxed. There'll be no pressure. Well, it doesn't work that way because what the neural pathways in my brain have already been trained to respond to that, to always feel like I have to be production. Like I could never watch a movie or back when there was TV shows and there was a commercial, I could never sit still. I had to go put something in the laundry, get something to eat. Um, Very hard for me to relax. During this period too, I realized that um, my central nervous system was so jacked up. I was in sympathetic, which is fight or flight, like all the time. Uh, I also found out at this time that I have 4 different kinds of ADD. One of them is called the Ring of Fire, where your brain is like lit up. If somebody took a picture of my brain would be lit up 24/7. And I'm thinking, so I'm starting to kind of understand myself by doing, the work, the inner child work. I'm starting to go, oh, there's that person inside of you, Tina, that you've kind of abandoned because I kind of had to. So I mean, think about it. When we're kids, we can do whatever we want. We're filled with joy. We're filled with curiosity. We just want to have fun. We know who we are. There's no doubt. And then things start to shift. Then you have to have responsibilities, and then you start to adult. And then, there's things that are expected out of you, the pressure that you put on yourself, the pressure that society puts on you. And that's where it all starts to shift, not just for me, but for everybody. But for me, never really feeling safe in my own body, that's what I've come to realize. I never really felt safe in my own body, which going back to the beginning of what I was saying, how I would like snap if even something minor would happen, it would be like, it would just throw me off. And I remember feeling shame and guilt about that because I'm like, why am I like that? I don't want to be like that. And it was something like it was out of my control at that time. At that time, I had no idea that had to do with my nervous system. Um, Fast forward, finding this out. Once my gut got healed, okay, my body started to relax. And today I want to share with you all the things that I do in my morning because I think your morning routine has so much to do with how your day unfolds and how your body is going to react. Your body, the mind, body, spirit is all connected and they all have to be fed. We feed our body. What are we feeding our body? We exercise. How much are we exercising? We feed our soul. Is that going to church one day a week? For me, it's a daily practice. And this has really shifted my life because I've never felt better than I have in my whole life. I feel relaxed. I feel capable. I feel confident. I used to shy away from things that scared me. I now lean into it. I step into this discomfort because guess what? I know now what's on the other side. And if it's discomfort that I'm feeling, it's even more important for me to do that because that my soul needs to be healed in that area. If there's any discomfort, like in your body, not to mention all this energy gets stored in your body, trapped energy, things that I didn't say that I needed to say, not letting out grief,
Hey
not letting.
guys, okay, let's talk skincare. For most of my adult life, I had a hate relationship with my skin. I struggled with adult acne, discoloration, large pores, psoriasis, and fine lines. I swear, all that changed when I started using herbal face food. I mean, this stuff is powerful. We're talking the world's most potent antioxidant and anti-blemish formula, and the serum is the number one anti-aging serum in the world, made entirely from 100% botanical plants. No chemicals, no synthetics, 100% all natural. Whether you're dealing with fine lines, dark spots, sun damage, rosacea, psoriasis, melasma, or just want that all day healthy glow, herbal face food has your skin covered. Literally. I've been using all their products for 3 years now, and let me tell you, it's like green juice for your face, only stronger. Remember, whatever you put on your skin goes in your body. So this is a really important point here, seeing that it's 100% all natural. Give it a try. Check them out at herbalfacefood.com and use promo code TINA20 for 20% off your entire order. That's herbalfacefood.com because your skin deserves the best.
Not letting out sad because none of that was allowed. My father didn't allow any of that. So, it was everything was kept inside. And I shared on a podcast not too long ago with Heidi Lynn because she did my energy clearing. It was like the first time somebody got in there and actually cleared my heart energy. I've had many people try and do it, and it's the first time. Again, it's timing. If I was not at the place I am now, I don't know if she could have healed it because I'm open and I'm trusting myself and I'm like trusting other people now. So that's why I think I allowed her, my inner being allowed her to clear my heart chakra. Okay. So, like I said, if you guys are suffering from anxiety or depression, I mean, I was diagnosed with PTSD. It's funny, I'm just going to go here for a minute. Um, I'm always the type of person that says, "Oh, I didn't have it too bad." I always downplay what's happened to me, and I think that's the message growing up. Don't complain. And I remember one day when I was going through all this, I just started writing all the things, the trauma that I've had in my life, and I'm not talking little. I'm talking big trauma. And I think I had gotten to like 17 or 18 things that were big things. And I looked at that list and I remember saying to myself, I felt sadness. I felt poor Tina, that poor little girl that you have not been honoring, that all you've been doing is hammering away at her, going, get this done, get that done. No pat on the back. I'm the type of person up until now, the type of person that I would achieve whatever I was looking to achieve
and I would never even take a moment and praise myself. I would immediately get on to the next thing. Well, so that's why this dark night of the soul was so necessary. How long can somebody actually move through life like this without either getting sick or something? So, like, as I said, the universe is always conspiring in your favor. It felt like hell going through it, but I would do it all over again to get to this side. All right. All right. So I'm going to walk you through what I do in the morning because, like I said, I think it is the most important thing. It sets up your day. Most people, they get up either to an alarm. I don't ever get up to an alarm. I trust my circadian rhythm. So that's the first thing I do. I get up to the sunlight and I look into the sun for like a minute or so because that sets your circadian rhythm. And then I will go in first thing and get my hydrogen water and add my greens, my minerals, and my gut punch. The gut punch is for my gut, obviously. It is a dairy-free colostrum, and then my greens, and then of course my minerals. Then I'll go back into my room and I will put my grounding mat on my bed. I'm sure you all know what grounding is, but if you don't know what it is, it's connecting to the Earth's vibration energy. So if you can get outside and walk barefoot in grass, that's great. If you can't, and you live in a city or you don't have the time or it's raining out, you can use a grounding mat. So what it does, you plug the grounding, plug into your grounding cord. So if you have in your wall, you've got 3 plugs. It's the one on the bottom. That's your grounding cord. You plug it in there. So I do that, and then I get my red light therapy, and then I get BrainTap. So I just interviewed Dr. Patrick Porter last week on my show. I've been hearing about this BrainTap through Dr. Daryl Joffrey for a while now. He sent me one. I started using it and I'm hooked. Okay. So prior to the BrainTap, what I was doing was I was doing binaural beats with I am affirmations, and you can get those on YouTube. But what he's done with this is it's oh, I wish I had it. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Okay. So this is what it is. You put it on your head like this. Out here is blue and red lights. Okay, blue light therapy, red light therapy, and then you've got this coming here, okay? Down like that. So you put it on and then you connect to the app and you pick whatever you want to work on. There's anxiety. The one I'm doing right now is the 21-day reset. So every day there's a different message. So you've got the red light therapy and the blue light therapy going in your ears, which creates a lot of blood flow there. The blood goes directly to your brain. So with the whole idea and with the binaural beats in the background, so what it's doing, the red light therapy is rushing the blood to your brain while it's playing the binaural beats. What that does is deregulates your prefrontal cortex to put it in a relaxed state. Then on top of that, he's talking to you through the earphones. And like I said, yesterday it was concentration. One day it was focus. Today it was thinking about all the things that make you happy, fun, like what I was just talking about. And it's for 10 minutes. So I do all 3 of these things at the same time. I ground for 10 minutes. Oh, that was 2. I'm going to tell you the third one in a second. So the grounding mat, I put that on, I listen to that, and then I've got my red light therapy in my hand while that's going on at the same time. And I'm doing deep breathing. So deep breathing, I do every single day for 10 minutes while I'm doing this. And box breathing is great for anxiety. It's for inhales through the nose, hold for 4 seconds, out through the mouth for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and repeat. So I'm doing that. I'm bringing fresh oxygen into my lungs, breathing really, really deeply, putting me in a relaxed state. And so I do that for 10 minutes. And then I also do tapping, which is, I don't know if you know that, you tap on a certain part of your body while you're saying an affirmation. And so then I do that. And then I have, let's see, I have my drink with ginger. I can tell you guys that about that on another time. If you guys really want me to break this down, you can DM me too and let me know if you want me to send you like the ingredients for the next drink that I have. I do intermittent fasting too. I was doing it for 6 hours a day. I mean, only eating within 6 hours a day, I was losing too much weight. So now I'm doing it for 8 hours a day. So I only eat within 8 hours. So if I have my first meal at 12, then I have my last bite to eat at 8 o'clock at night. So then the other thing I absolutely do at least 4, if not 5 times a week is exercising. Okay. Exercising, so important. Water, so important. I have switched over. I was drinking alkaline, then I was drinking purified. Now I'm drinking hydrogen water. I do feel a big difference. I mean, you guys can do all your research on that too. And let me see if I have missed anything. Oh, no computer, no phone for at least an hour. I'm doing like an hour and a half now. Because listen, that's what used to make me so anxious too. Okay. I would wake up, I'd sleep till the last minute, probably because of the depression. This is when my son was younger. And I'd wake up, I'd make him breakfast, I'd make him lunch, I'd get him ready for school. And like it was always down to the wire, rushing him to school to get him there on time. And so how is the rest of my day going to play out? I'm already filled with anxiety. Okay. So now I've got to either back it off and do these things, but don't start your day like that. It's like, why would you start going? I mean, it's like going up a mountain, right? Start your day off calmly, get up earlier. And in fact, you know what? I just heard somebody that was saying that they get up at like 4:30 or 5. And I get up about 5:36, but I think I am going to get up at 5. You have the whole morning to yourself. Another thing I do like to do in the morning is either listen to a podcast, inspirational podcast, or read for 10 minutes. I mean, if I can listen to the podcast while I'm getting ready, and that's 20 minutes, even better. So my whole point is you've got to like be assisting yourself, your central nervous system. You can't be putting junk in your body or in your mind or in your spirit and expect your life to like unfold the way you want it to. You also have to watch out what comes out of your mouth. What are you thinking? I catch my clients all the time. I say, did you hear what you just said in the last 10 minutes? How you berated yourself? Any word that comes after the word I am should be a positive thing. Not I am stupid. I am fat. Okay. Because your brain is always listening. It's recording that. This is why we need the BrainTap because, we have all these recordings in our subconscious mind. That's where we act upon from our subconscious mind, not from our conscious mind. Like, how many times have you said, I don't want to do that anymore? And I keep doing it. I know it's bad for me or this. It's because you're being ruled by your subconscious mind. So the BrainTap, what it does is it's helping you put in new neural pathways in your brain so that you're going to now be acting on those thoughts. All right. So a little tip, if something comes out of your mouth and you berate yourself or you put yourself down, or you think it, neutralize the word or the thought. So instead of if you say, oh, I'm so fat, say, I have a beautiful body, or I am at my ideal weight. That neutralizes it so it won't be recorded. Just a little bit tip there. It's very easy to do, but the first thing you have to do is become aware of your thoughts because your thoughts eventually become your reality. There's a saying I remember from a long time ago. They said, if you want to know what somebody thinks about themselves, look at their life. As within, without. Okay. So if you're not feeling great about yourself, it's going to show up in your life. So I really hope this helps you guys because that's what I'm here for. You can always DM me on Instagram. It's Tina.Marx, Marx, or comment on the YouTube or my podcast. And like I said, I am here to help. And I hope this helps you guys. So have a wonderful day, and we will see you next week with a very exciting guest. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel or my podcast, Transparent with Tina,
That's the name of my podcast, and my YouTube channel is Tina Marks TV. Please do so.